What's going on, Gifted Hands family? It is Elijah here bringing you another lesson, and today we're going to be talking about everything related to E major harmony and theory. We're talking about E major gospel harmony and theory, and I'm just going to cover the fundamental things that you need to be able to play in this key. All right, so let's jump right into it. E major is what we're talking about today, and if you want to play in the key of E major, there's a few fundamental things that you have to know. So the first thing is just going to be, of course, your E major scale. All right, so everybody should know this already, but if not, we're going to go over it. Let's start with that. So the E major scale is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So that's our E major scale, right? And all we have is 4 sharps. We have we have F sharp, G sharp, C sharp, and D sharp, all right? So 4 sharps in the key of E major. So that's the first thing you gotta learn. After you're comfortable with playing your major scale, then you wanna move to the diatonic chords. So that's, if you don't know what diatonic chords are just the chords that belong to a key. So each note in the scale, there's 7 notes in a major scale, right? So each note of the scale has a corresponding chord that goes along with it. So in E major, we have 7 diatonic chords, our 1 through our 7. So those are gonna be this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? So those are our diatonic chords. From there, that's the second thing we need to learn. Then from there, we're gonna move into the cycle of fifths. Cycle of fifths, this is just a chord progression based off of, or based in the key of E major, and it's just simply this: our 2 chord to the 5, to the 1, to the 4, to the 7, to the 3, to the 6. And we call this a cycle of fifths because they're all in fifths. Pretty much there's one, I believe, augmented fourth in there, or like a kind of like a tritone interval, but the cycle essentially is based off of fifths, okay? So let's look at that now. We have 2, 5, 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, 4. To the 6, all right? So that is the cycle of fifths summed up. And those are the 3 fundamental things that you need to be able to play in E major: your major scale, your diatonic chords, and then the cycle of fifths, okay? So after you learn those things, you want to get those solid, master them, get comfortable with playing them in a bunch of different voicings, and yeah, like different inversions and all those different things. Like as many ways as you can get comfortable with playing those things, do it, all right? Because that's going to help you to be able to play majority of songs that pop up in key E major, right? That's a great starting point. So after you have that stuff down, then what do we want to do next? Next thing is just going to be like, after we have the fundamentals, we're just going to experiment with maybe some chords that are outside of the key, or maybe we're used to playing the basic chords, right? But we're trying to look at, okay, well, how can I take E major to another level? How can I make it sound not so basic, right? What will we do? So let's take a song, for example, "Draw Me Near," old like kind of hymnal congregational song, and I'll just take the chorus. Well, actually, I think it starts off. I'll start with the verse. And then the chorus is "Draw me near, nearer, blessed Lord, to the cross where thou hast died. Draw me near, nearer, blessed Lord." Something like that, right? Different options, a bunch of different ways that we can play that. But let's say we had just the basic like version of that song. So the chorus progression really at its simplest form, it would be draw me near, 1, and we're in the key E major, right? Near, 1, invert it to the 4, back to the 1 over the 3, to the 4, and then I'm walking down, 4, 3, 2, 5. Draw me near, 1, and then I'll do the 5 minor, 1 to the 4, nearer, blessed Lord. Flat 7. All right, we'll just take that much. So fairly straightforward chord progression, right? But maybe we just want to figure out a way to, like I said, make it sound a little bit different, maybe add some different chord voicings, add some different movements to that progression. So what can we do in E major, all right? So let's, first thing I would do is just, we're gonna take one concept for today. Let's look at how we can use inversions and just inverting our chord voicings, inverting our chords to give us a different sound and to even create some cool like walks in our bass line. I think we can do. So what am I talking about? Let's see. Draw me near, or actually draw me near. Right here. All right, so right there, I just did a walk down. 2, 1, 7, 6, 5, and then we can even walk it down more. 5, 4, 3. So we just have this in our bass like a diatonic walk down, meaning we're just taking the E flat major scale. And we're just walking it down the notes of the E flat major scale. But the only way that this is possible is because we're essentially inverting the chords in our progression. So what are those chords in that part? Draw me near, or draw me right here. So it has died. Okay, so that's gonna be the first movement. All that is 5. Or actually, I'm playing 5 in the right, but I'm playing the 7 in the bass. Okay, 5 over 7. And then we wanna do, we're pretty much just walking it down. 7, 6, 5, right? 7, 6, 5. So 5 over 7, most people would probably do 4 over 6 to the 5. But let's do something a little bit different. Let's do 5 over 7. We're gonna do the 6 in the bass, but let's take our 2 chord and make it dominant. This is like a secondary dominant to pass us to the 5 chord, right? When thou hast died, 5, 2, 5. That's a movement that we can do, right? So to create a walk down in the bass, we're doing 5, 6, and then we're gonna play that 2 chord as a dominant in our right. But we can use the 6 in our bass because the C sharp, which is the 6, is one of the notes in our 2 chord. It's the 5th of our 2 chord, right? So this works kind of as an inversion for a 2 dominant chord, which gives us a nice little movement. To the cross where thou hast died. Walk it down to the 5. And actually, even if we want to start a little bit before that, we could do. Draw me nearer, nearer to the cross. Let's do 2, 1, 7, 6, 5. All right. So for that, we could do to the cross where. We'll do our regular 2, and then I'm gonna invert this. We're gonna do 2, 1, but instead of playing the 1 in the right, we're gonna play 1 in the bass. I'm also gonna play that 2 dominant chord over the 1. Why does that work? Because we have an F sharp dominant chord, the 2 chord, and it has an E in it. E is the flat 7th for our chord, right? So I can have that E in the bass over my 2 chord. All right, it works theoretically. So 4, 1 over 3, 2, 2 dominant, 2 dominant. All right, this is my voicing for my 2 dominant with the E in the bass. 5 over 7, 2 dominant in the right again over now the 6, C sharp to the 5. All right, and then even if we wanted to keep walking it down, we could do 5, 4, 3. Draw me near. Okay, and then right there we could do 1 over 5. Why? Because our 1 chord has a B in it, has the 5 in it, so we can play 1 over 5. Then we're gonna go 2 over 4. Why? Once again, look at our 2 chord. Our 2 chord is F sharp. So F sharp has an A in it, which is the 4. So those work together to 1 over 3. And once again, same rule. We can play the 3 in the bass because our E major chord has, or our 1 chord has that G sharp in it, the third in it. Okay, so throughout this whole song, essentially the rule that we can use, and really in any song, the rule that we can use is to invert our chords. So we'll just look at this as an inversion or a different chord voicing for our chords. If one of the chords that we want to play in our right, actually not even if, but we can look at any chord in our right hand, right? And any of the notes that make up our chord, any of the chord tones for any chord in our right hand, we can play those notes as the bass note in our left, all right? And this just gives us a bunch of different combinations to play these nice progressions. All right, so let's look and see if there's anywhere else we can add some nice movements like that. All right, so let's see, just the chorus again. Draw me near. Nearer. Let's see. All right, so one more thing I'll break down for this song. Another like chromatic movement. It's not necessarily using inversions, but we'll just give you some cool passing chords that you can apply to this song or other songs. All right. So in the chorus, once again, draw me nearer, nearer to the cross where thou wast died. Draw me near. All right. So on that second time after we did our kind of inverted walk down, draw me near, we usually do 6, 2, 5, 1. All right. But instead of doing that, instead of doing 6, 2, 5, 1, what we can do is substitute some of those chords and create a chromatic walk down. So we're gonna still play the 6. Instead of the 2, we're gonna use a tritone substitution. So a tritone substitution just means if we played 2 dominant, we're gonna substitute this 2 dominant for another dominant chord that's a tritone away. So F sharp, what's a tritone away from F sharp? We're gonna go up 3 whole steps. So 1, 2, or F sharp to G sharp, 1 whole step. G sharp to A sharp, 2 whole steps. A sharp to C, just 3 whole steps. So C is the tritone to F sharp. So I can replace this F sharp dominant chord with C dominant chord. Okay. So that's gonna be 6. Instead of 2, we'll do 6. Tritone sub for 2. 5 minor. And then what do? We went to the 1 for the regular progression. So we're gonna do a tritone sub for the 1. Tritone sub for this chord is going to be B flat. E and B flat. Create a tritone, all right? So these 2 dominant chords, or these 2 chords in general, are interchangeable. So that's 6, sub for 2, 5, sub for 1. To the 4. Okay? And in context, that would be Draw me nearer, nearer, blessed Lord, to the place. All right, so that'll be it for this lesson. Just wanted to show you a couple like kind of intermediate to advanced concepts you can use in the key of E major and just in general. You can take this and apply it to really any key, to any song, but we're looking at it specifically apply it to E major. So after you get the fundamentals, after you get your major scale learned, after you get your diatonic chords learned, after you get the cycle of fifths and all of that good stuff locked in, then you can take some of these concepts and just experiment with them, have some fun, and yeah, implement them into your own playing and create your own sound. That's what it's all about. We learn from everybody and everything, and then we take it and we kind of figure out how to apply it to our own personal playing. All right, so that's it. That's all I got for you today. I will see you all very soon. Keep practicing, keep growing, keep getting better at your craft, and I will see y'all later. Have a blessed day.